Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Russia and Ukraine have agreed to restore a 2020 ceasefire deal in eastern Ukraine, prompting a top official in Kiev to say that the coming holidays should be peaceful. Ukrainian President Chief of Staff Andrei Yermak hailed the deal brokered by Europe's OSCE security organization as a step towards de-escalation.
Сегодня и на историческую перспективу.
Russian President Vladimir Putin has threatened adequate military technical response measures, although he says he hopes talks with the US in Geneva next month will help cool relations. It comes a day after Ukrainian military conducted combat drills with US-made anti-tank missiles in a conflict area with separatists in the east of the country. A famous statue at the University of Hong Kong marking the Tiananmen Square massacre has been removed. Late on Wednesday night, security guards at the University of Hong Kong placed yellow barricades around the 8-metre-high, 2-ton copper sculpture. The statue, known as the Pillar of Shame, shows piled-up corpses to commemorate the thousands of pro-democracy protesters killed by Chinese authorities in 1989. It was one of the few remaining public memorials in Hong Kong commemorating the incident. Its removal comes as Beijing has increasingly been cracking down on political dissent in Hong Kong. A government minister in Madagascar has said he swam for 12 hours to safety after his helicopter crashed at sea during a rescue mission. Police Minister Serge Gell said it was not his time to die as he recovered from the marathon swim. The team had been flying to inspect the site of a shipwreck in the northeast of the country on Monday night. The death toll from the shipwreck off the coast of Madagascar has risen now to 85. Maritime authorities said 138 people were on the 12-foot-long boat, adding that only 50 had been rescued. Libya's parliament has ordered the formation of a committee to create a roadmap for the period following when elections were meant to be held and to submit their proposal within 1 week. Yesterday, the Electoral Commission proposed pushing back the voting date by a month, confirming a delay that had been widely expected amid several disputes. At stake is a peace process that had been seen as the best hope in years of bringing an end to a decade of chaos and violence that had engulfed Libya since a NATO-backed uprising ousted Gaddafi in 2011. The Saudi-led coalition fighting in Yemen says it launched airstrikes against a military camp in the capital Sana'a, attacks which the Iran-aligned Houthis said hit a prison compound and a hospital. People gathered around one of the sites, inspecting the area and picking up bits of shrapnel. The coalition said it destroyed 7 drone and weapons stores at the camp, adding it was in response to an armed drone launched from North Yemen towards Saudi's Red Sea region of Jizan. 4 people have been injured after a fire erupted at EXXON's complex in Texas, one of the largest refining facilities in the United States. All other personnel were accounted for, EXXON said, adding that its emergency response crews were still working to extinguish the blaze. The Baytown plant houses a chemical plant, an olefins plant, and the country's 4th biggest oil refinery, with capacity to process 560,000 barrels per day of crude. Bangkok Port Custom Office say they have intercepted more than 193 kilograms of amphetamine hidden in punching bags bound for Australia. Officials told a news conference the shipment was inspected by Thai customs after authorities grew suspicious since the Thai-made boxing training tool is not in high demand in Australia. The drugs, packaged in bags, each weighing over 10 kilograms, were hidden in 15 punching bags. It would have had a street value of almost $30 million in Australia. And finally, climbers dressed as Santa Claus have abseiled down the outside of a children's hospital as Slovenia prepares for Christmas. The abseiling Santas from a local cave rescue association waved and danced for patients and staff as they hung from their ropes. Meanwhile, sick children in Rome were treated to the same, with Santas scaling down a huge chimney. They then gave out presents to kids in the Umberto Hospital in the capital. And a Palestinian Christian known as Jerusalem Santa brought holiday cheer to residents as he rode a camel along the old city walls and through Jaffa Gate, where he distributed Christmas trees provided by the municipality. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.